Right now, somewhere in America, someone is signing paperwork on a $45,000 SUV with a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, a touchscreen that freezes in cold weather, and a transmission that costs $9,000 to replace when it fails. 2 rows back. On the same lot, marked down twice, is an SUV with a naturally aspirated V6, a timing chain, no turbocharger, and an average repair cost of $489 a year. Nobody's looking at it, not because it doesn't run, because it doesn't look new, and the market confuses looking new with being good. I spent weeks going through reliability data, owner mileage records, and real repair cost figures on 5 SUVs the used market has completely walked past. 5 SUVs, all documented, all available right now for less than most people spend on a new economy car. Stay until number 1, a 3-row SUV rated one of the highest ever recorded for reliability in its class, seating 7 with a 19-inch step-in. Height, sitting on used lots today for under $17,000. Welcome back to Arisha Auto Radar. I dig into the used car market so you don't have to. Quick question before we start. If the most reliable SUV you could buy was already 12 years old, would you buy it? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments. Let's get into the list. Number 5. Ford Escape 2.5L, 2010-2012. Number 5 is the SUV. Ford built before it decided every engine needed a turbocharger. And the used market is pricing it like that decision never mattered. Most buyers walk past a 2010-2012 Escape assuming it's the same vehicle Ford builds today with the small turbo engine and the repair history that comes with it. It isn't. This is a pre-EcoBoost vehicle. The 2.5-liter Duratec 4-cylinder is naturally aspirated, port fuel injected, running a timing chain. No turbo, no intercooler, no boost system to spring leaks at 90,000 miles. Reliability tracking rates this generation around 4.0 out of 5, with average annual repair costs below the compact SUV segment average, near $600. Now here's what most buyers never get to see because they never open the door. The limited trim comes with genuine leather seating front and rear, a 6-way. Power-adjustable driver's seat, dual-zone automatic climate control, separate temperature controls for driver and passenger, operated with physical buttons instead of a touchscreen that needs 3 menu presses to change the temperature. Ford's Sync infotainment with voice-activated, controls for phone and audio, a premium sound system, heated front seats, a power liftgate, roof rails standard across the lineup, illuminated visor mirrors on both sides, a cargo area that opens wide and loads flat, 57.6 cubic feet with the rear seats folded. Step-in height is genuinely low compared to most SUVs from this era, a result of the crossover platform rather than a truck-based body. The ride is comfortable and composed on longer drives, an impression that holds up even at 100,000 miles in a way stiffer, more aggressive platforms don't. Clean 2010-2012, Escape Limited, 2.5L examples run $9,000. Number 4, Honda CR-V, 2007-2011. Number 4 carries one of the highest reliability ratings of any compact SUV, around 4.5 out of 5, with average annual repair costs near $407. Currently on lots for $7,000, $12,000. It's lower on this list because the market actually knows about this one and prices reflect that. But most buyers still don't understand what it's capable of. This generation runs the K24 2.4-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Port-injected, timing chain, no turbo, no direct injection, 190 horsepower, a well-proven Honda engine platform, refined over years of use before it landed here. Documented high-mileage examples of this generation have crossed well past 250,000 miles, with individual cars recorded near 340,000 and even 470,000 miles still on the road. But here's what most buyers miss about this SUV, and what the used market consistently undervalues. The interior on the 2007-2011 CR-V was designed with a level of practical detail competitors rarely matched. The front doors open to nearly 90 degrees, wider than most vehicles in this segment, making entry and exit genuinely easier. Seat-to-ground height is around 19 inches. The A-pillars are narrower than most competitors from the same era, cutting down blind spots at intersections and in parking lots in a way wider pillars on newer vehicles simply can't. The EXL trim brings genuine leather seating, a material that slides more easily than cloth when getting in and out, which matters for long-term comfort. A power driver's seat with height adjustment, heated front seats, a premium audio system, dual-zone automatic, climate control with physical dials, one motion to adjust temperature instead of multiple screen taps, a power moonroof, Bluetooth connectivity, rear privacy glass, cargo space of 35.7 cubic feet behind the second row, expanding to 72.9 cubic feet with the rear seats folded. The layout is logically organized, controls that stay intuitive to use without ever opening the owner's manual. Clean 2007-2011 CR-V EXL examples run $7,000, $12,000. Number 3, Toyota 4Runner V6, 2003-2009. Number 3 is the SUV mechanics consistently say they'd buy with their own money, and the market has been pricing it on age, not engineering. This generation 4Runner is body-on-frame, not a crossover. The body sits on a separate ladder frame, so road stress travels through the frame instead of the cabin, which means it can rack up very high mileage without the structural fatigue crossovers develop over time. The 1GR FE 4.0-liter V6 makes 236 horsepower, naturally aspirated, port-injected, timing chain paired with a heavy-duty 5-speed automatic built for durability. Reliability tracking puts this generation around 4.0 out of 5. Average annual repair cost near $514, with multiple owner-documented examples past 340,000 miles on original drivetrains. Now let me tell you what you actually sit in when you open the door, because this is the part the used market consistently overlooks. The 2003 redesign brought a completely updated interior that held up through the end of this generation without needing to change. Available genuine leather seating front and rear, available heated front seats, available JBL premium audio with a subwoofer, 9 speakers on higher trims, tuned specifically for this cabin's acoustics, a rear power window that opens independently of the liftgate, giving access to the cargo area or ventilation without unlatching the full rear door. Available third-row seating on SR5 and limited trims, genuine 3-row capability in a body-on-frame package. Dual-zone automatic climate. Control on limited trim. Cargo space of 46.3 cubic feet behind the second row. The material quality and feature content on the 2007 limited trim was genuinely competitive with dedicated luxury SUVs of the same era at a significantly lower price. Step-in height is higher than a crossover, worth being upfront about, but lower than a full-size body-on-frame SUV, and running boards help on most trims. Clean 2003-2009 4Runner, SR5, limited V6 examples run $10,000, $18,000. Number 2. Lexus GX 470, 2003-2009. The GX 470 runs the 4.7-liter 2UZ FE V8, cast-iron block, naturally aspirated, port-injected, no turbo, no cylinder deactivation. 235 horsepower, 320 lb-ft of torque, available from idle, 6,500-pound towing capacity, a rugged, long-proven engine architecture built for high-mileage durability. Reliability tracking rates it around 4.0 out of 5, average annual repair cost near $622, with owners regularly reporting drivetrains still solid well past 200,000 miles. Now let me tell you what's inside. Because the GX 470's interior is where the gap between the asking price and what this car actually is becomes most obvious. The interior was built to go head-to-head with premium luxury SUVs of the same era on materials, refinement, and feature content. Genuine leather throughout the entire cabin, front, second row, and available third row. Available heated and ventilated front seats, both functions on the same seat. A feature many luxury vehicles charge a significant premium for. Lexus-tuned premium audio engineered specifically for this cabin's acoustics. Dual-zone automatic. Climate control with rear vents for second-row passengers. Real wood trim on the dashboard, center console, and door panels. Actual wood, not printed vinyl or simulated grain. An available third row that folds flat into the cargo floor. A power rear window that opens independently of the liftgate. A conversation mirror standard on all trims, letting the driver see all 3 rows without turning around. The quiet, quality material refinement here is the kind most buyers associate with vehicles costing significantly more, achieved without. The electronic complexity that makes other luxury interiors expensive to maintain at high mileage. This interior cost $48,000, $55,000 new. It's available today for $10,000, $16,000. Number 1. Toyota Highlander, V6, 2011-2013. Number 1, and the specific model year matters more here than on any other vehicle on this list. The second-gen Highlander ran 2008-2013. The 2008-2010 models had documented wiring issues, seat heaters, and window switches that generated real complaint volume, including some fire-related reports. That is not what this recommendation covers. The 2011 refresh brought updated transmission programming, better interior materials, and memory seats on limited trim. The powertrain stayed the same, 2GR-FE, 3.5-liter V6, naturally aspirated, port-injected, timing chain, 270 horsepower, paired with a 6-speed automatic refined over millions of miles before it reached this SUV. This generation is rated around 4.5 out of 5 for reliability, with an average annual repair cost near $489, well below the midsize SUV segment average. Multiple owners have documented drivetrains crossing 250,000 miles with nothing beyond scheduled maintenance. Now let me tell you exactly what you sit in when you open the door on a 2011-2013 Highlander Limited, because the interior is what completes the argument for number 1. The limited trim brings genuine perforated leather seating across all 3 rows. Not cloth on the third row, and leather up front. Leather throughout. The entire cabin. Available heated front seats with power adjustment on both sides. Memory seat function. Stores the exact seat position, mirror angles, and steering wheel position for 2 different drivers, letting either person return to their precise settings with one button press. A 9-speaker JBL premium audio system, standard on limited, engineered for this specific cabin. Toyota's Entune infotainment with a backup camera standard on SE and limited trims. Dual-zone automatic climate control with rear vents for second row. Passengers. A power sunroof standard on upper trims. A power lift gate. An available rear seat entertainment system with a DVD-capable overhead screen. The second row uses a 40-20-40 split. The center section is fully removable and stores on board the vehicle, converting the second row from a bench into 2 individual captain's chairs with an open walk-through aisle to the third row. It's one of the most thoughtfully engineered second-row configurations in the segment during this period. Step-in height is 19 inches, the lowest of any 3-row SUV from this era, and being unibody, it rides quiet and composed, closer to a large sedan than a truck with cabin noise at highway speeds that's genuinely impressive for the segment. Max cargo volume is 95.4 cubic feet with all seats folded, 42.3 cubic feet behind the second row with the third folded flat, and 10.3 cubic feet behind an in-use third row, enough for grocery bags and daily items. An independently opening rear window on most trims allows cargo access without opening the full liftgate. 3 rows of leather, premium audio, memory seats, a 270 horsepower naturally aspirated V6, and a documented 250,000-mile ownership record. Currently $11,000, $17,000. That price reflects the years that had problems, not the years that didn't. 5 SUVs. Which one would you actually buy? Drop it in the comments. I read and respond to every single one. If this helped you, hit the like button.